You know what? Fuck that movie. I just need to scrub that movie from my mind. Hey there, everyone. My name is Tony, but you can call me Skeej, or whatever. Doesn't really matter. What does matter today, though, is that we are talking about Final Destination. More importantly, Final Destination Bloodlines, the sixth installment in the Final Destination film franchise. It is six, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, six. Okay. Okay, so first off, my thoughts of the movie. What do you say about a horror franchise that's 6 films deep? It's fine. I think it's fine. I'm not a big fan of the Final Destination franchise. I can't even really remember them. I can remember maybe specific deaths that happened, but I couldn't plug the death to which film franchise that is. So the only one I really remember is the first one, and the first one is really good. Actually, the first one is scary. The first and the second are scary. Okay, I remember the second one a little bit too. I think those two are actually trying to be scary, and then everything after that is more shocking. I think maybe they're still playing in the realm of horror, but it feels more just like shock value stuff. So yeah, to me, this movie is about the same as the last three, I guess. In about a couple weeks, a month, maybe, I'll end up forgetting which deaths are associated with this movie and vice versa. And as I look up information about this movie right now, it's all just shocking to me. I thought this was like really low budget compared to the previous movies. It just felt like it with the CGI and stuff. But as I look it up, this actually has the highest budget of all 6 movies. Now, adjusting for inflation, because these movies are kind of old now. I mean, this movie's budget is $50 million, whereas the previous ones are sitting from anywhere from like $23 million to $40 million. So due to inflation, maybe $50 million compared to budgets of the previous movies might not be that significant. So $50 million could be just like chump change. I know it is in Hollywood terms. $50 million for a movie is lower budget. I don't know why I talk about budgets like I know any of this shit.
90% of the time, I have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about.
But anyways, yeah, this has the highest budget, and I guess they used the heck out of that budget because it all went to a lot of CGI that I felt wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible CGI, but it wasn't great, which is fine. It's a horror movie. You're not gonna be expecting Avatar levels of CGI for a horror Final Destination movie. You know, I'm looking at the critical reception of this movie as well, and Rotten Tomatoes and Metacritic are giving it very favorable reviews, and that's just... I mean, take movie critic reviews with a grain of salt, but I mean, I think clearly I'm wrong here, and everyone else is right. Again, I don't think this is a bad movie or anything like that. It's a serviceable Final Destination movie. I just am kind of blown away by how high Rotten Tomatoes has scored this. But hey, I guess this movie found its audience. That's cool. Maybe we'll start getting a lot more Final Destination movies again. It took a break for quite a while. The last one was in 2011. That's 14 years. Wow. Oh, God. Well, this is a silly movie. You know, and I'm going to start getting into spoilers now. I think that's the best way to go about this. So I'm going to start putting up my walls now, red walls. Okay, so in spoilers, yes, this is a silly movie. This, I felt, bordered on horror comedy. I really felt like this was a horror comedy. I didn't hear any gasps of fright. I didn't hear anyone screaming from a jump scare or anything like that. I didn't hear anyone groaning or anything like that from the gore of any of this. In my theater, all I heard was laughter. everyone was just laughing. This was about as much laughter as a comedy movie. I'd say this is definitely a comedic Final Destination movie. And they all kind of feel like that to me, sort of. Is it self-referential, I think is what it's called? They all kind of feel like that at some point, except for that first one. The first movie is just so scary, and the death scenes might be shocking, but they're more, oh, what's the word? Harrowing. They are very awful. And is it the first kill, the bathtub one with the guy strangling himself with a clothesline or dental floss or something? Stuff like that. It was the first one is just it's very scary and dour. Not like these ones. People are there for the kills and to laugh and giggle at some of the stupid shit that's on screen. And when I talk about CGI also in this movie, there is a lot of it. Like the whole first opening scene takes place in the 60s, the 50s or 60s. No, it's the 60s because the cars were 60s cars, I believe. The opening scene takes place like on the Seattle Space Needle, although maybe it wasn't that. It was something else. So it takes place high up in the air of the Space Needle, and the Space Needle is going to get destroyed. And I imagine it costs a lot of money to film at the Seattle Space Needle. They green screened everything, and yeah, it looks like it's like, okay. I mean, I guess everything kind of has like a hazy look to it, which I guess is because you're looking into the past, and it is supposed to be a dream that you're looking into this whole scene, but everything just, it did feel super fake. But I mean, you're not there to look at the beautiful effects. You're there to watch people get horribly mangled. And yes, people do get horribly mangled up in the skyscraper Space Needle. Yeah, it's a whole bunch of just one after another events lead to, you know how Final Destination works, to basically the whole place collapsing. But you know, there's only one person that makes out of the building alive. There's just a rotten little kid that kind of started everything. He wasn't rotten because he started everything. He's just that kid was a jerk. But a jerk that gets smashed by a piano just crushes him. But none of this happens because it was all a dream that our main protagonist had about her grandmother. But then we also find out, yes, the grandmother, she had this vision and stopped the whole Space Needle from collapsing, thus setting off the events of our Final Destination movie. Oh, what to spoil. I mean, everything basically plays out the exact same in a Final Destination movie. I will say the deaths in this movie, while they are shocking, I don't know. I feel like the shock gets you like for a split second, but then it's kind of dulled real quick because everything is CGI, and maybe the other Final Destination movies were CGI as well, but I don't remember them. I felt like when I watched something, it was more like, oh shit. This I didn't feel that because everything just looked like it was kind of like just whatever CGI, not that great CGI to me. So the deaths were just like, oh, okay. Nothing really like left me feeling like, oh my gosh, what the heck was that? Oh god. I didn't really get a sense of that. Like, let's see, this year I've watched The Monkey, and I think a great deal of that was all practical effects, and that was super bloody and very Final Destination-esque, actually. I think The Wolfman did some pretty good practical effects, I think. And Until Dawn, for as meh as that movie was, they do their practical effects of head smashing and blood and gore and that. So when I watched this, just almost every single death was a CGI model getting, I don't know, crushed or impaled, whatever. It didn't really have a lasting effect on me. And in the Final Destination movies, I'm pretty sure that they're mostly practical. Not every death is going to be practical effects. Some stuff can be kind of more tricky to do, and that's fine. You know, if you kind of mix it up and have some practical or at least some good-looking deaths, and some not that great CGI stuff. I think that's fine. You're mixing it up. I don't know. To me, this was all just meh after meh after meh after meh. The only good death scene in the movie, I thought, was a girl being put into a garbage truck and her cousin trying to get her out of that garbage truck with the compactor closing. Well, the poor girl's head is only slightly out, and the compactor just kind of takes off just like the front jaw and everything else. Like, that's all you see. And I think that was like a wax model or something like that. Unless that was CGI as well. To me, I couldn't tell the difference. It looked good. It was just like half of a head just crushed. And you got to see that. That was a good death scene. Everything else just kind of seemed like CGI models, nonsense, As I said, this movie's also self-referential. And what I mean by that is, so the grandma that's been able to survive the incident, she is basically been on death's list next for a very long time, but she's been able to keep herself alive because she knows the signs, she knows everything. So she sees like a planter pot that's hanging by a string. Well, the sun is reflecting on like a mirror that's heating up that string, and it looks like it's gonna kickstart off everything. Well, she sees it and she's like, nope, not today, Death. And she knocks the mirror and the reflection away from that string so that way nothing burns. And she makes a book that's just like, I don't know how you could read this to predict what's gonna happen. They don't really explain it. Just that, you look through the book and you'll just start to see the patterns right away. And you'll just see and know that, like, oh, stay away from this because this is gonna happen and this is gonna happen and this is gonna happen. So yeah, with the aid of a book that the grandma made, the family is able to kind of try to navigate Death's traps. Well, only one person, our main protagonist, she knows how to read the book and navigate Death's traps. Doesn't really help though because everyone keeps ending up dying. Like, I don't even know what to spoil or explain because I feel like these all end the exact same way. Whatever you're thinking, like from scene to scene to scene, is gonna happen, it's pretty much going to happen. I'm pretty sure they all end the same way, just with different death traps. Anyways, I think that's it for Final Destination Bloodlines. It's fine. Apparently, I'm wrong.
You're not just wrong, you're stupid.
And it's a really good movie. I mean, I'm usually wrong.
And you're ugly, just like your mom.
A lot of times I say crappy movies are good, so there's no surprise there. And like I said, it's funny. I mean, it got a lot of laughs. I laughed, and that was funny. It is a funny movie. All I will say is that the monkey definitely did a better Final Destination, in my opinion. And I was gonna say, well, at least Until Dawn had practical effects. But you know what? Fuck that movie. I just need to scrub that movie from my mind. This is better than Until Dawn. I think I can say that. I will give it that. It's better than Until Dawn, I think. You know, maybe this movie's for the true fans of Final Destination. Maybe, like, if you're a die-hard fan of Final Destination, you are going to love this shit. Maybe that's it. I don't know. Well, that's it. And I am out of here.